Welcome to IMRAN STAR Video, or as we call it, ISVi, the collaborative lens on Vancouver, unfiltered, unscripted, and powered by community. We're not just a voice behind the mic, we're a collective of creators, thinkers, storytellers, and city lovers coming together to spotlight the people, places, and energy that make Vancouver what it is. From coast mountain skylines to neon-lit back streets, we're covering everything from downtown buzz to the untold stories shaping our scene. You'll find us exclusively on YouTube. No algorithms, no filters, just real talk. For behind the scenes, updates, and chaotic brilliance in real time, follow us on TikTok and Instagram. So hit subscribe, drop a comment, and help us grow from 100 to 10,000 and beyond. Because this isn't just our platform, it's yours too. Turn it up. Get into it. Let's talk Vancouver. This is ISVi. IMCI. Let's get something straight. Vancouver runs on coffee and passive-aggressive politeness. And while the rain may be relentless and the rent outrageous, one thing you can always count on in this city, besides someone in Lululemon talking about their breathwork class, is a really, really good cup of coffee. In Vancouver, coffee isn't just a beverage, it's an identity marker, a social cue, a survival tool, and in some neighborhoods, a full-blown personality type. Whether you're sipping a meticulously weighed pour-over made with single-origin beans from Guatemala, or clutching your oat-milk latte while pretending you didn't cry during yoga this morning, you're part of the culture now. This city doesn't just drink coffee, it curates it. Here, your choice of cafe says more about you than your zodiac sign or Spotify Wrapped. If you're at a plant-filled cafe with reclaimed wood furniture and a staff that knows your name and your dog's name, congratulations, you've made it. You are now the main character of your own espresso-fueled indie film. But with so many options scattered across Vancouver's endlessly photogenic neighborhoods, from historic Gastown to West Coast wellness capital Kitsilano, how do you choose where to caffeinate with purpose and aesthetic? That's where this guide comes in. We're taking you on a sassy neighborhood by neighborhood tour of Vancouver's most iconic, underrated, and vibe-heavy coffee spots, breaking it all down so you know exactly where to go when you need a caffeine fix, a solid playlist, and possibly the best gluten-free muffin of your life. And no, this isn't about chain cafes or basic brown drip in a styrofoam cup. This is about third-wave excellence. Baristas with sleeve tattoos, latte art you'll hesitate to sip, and a bathroom that doubles as a tiny art gallery. Welcome to coffee culture in Vancouver, where the espresso is strong, the playlists are soft indie rock, and the energy is I journaled about this cup. Before Vancouver became a city where your cappuccino has oat milk, personality, and possibly a moral compass, coffee culture here was fine, functional, a little beige. Picture mid-90s diners with bottomless drip that tasted like regret and anxiety. It got the job done if the job was keep you awake during a wet commute, but it wasn't exactly the vibe. Then, somewhere between the rise of brunch and the invention of latte art, something changed. Enter the third wave coffee movement, aka the era when people stopped asking, do you want cream and sugar? And started asking, what's the origin profile of this bean? Suddenly, coffee wasn't just hot bean water. It was a craft, a ritual, a whole mood. And Vancouver? Oh, we latched on harder than a student during finals week with our proximity to the Pacific, our eco-conscious obsession, and our collective inability to function without a warm drink in hand. The city was primed for a coffee takeover. By the early 2000s, a new wave of cafes emerged. Small, local, fiercely independent spots where every cup was brewed with precision, passion, and a soft indie playlist. This wasn't just about getting your caffeine fix. It was about community, sustainability, and casually flexing your knowledge of pour-over techniques. Roasters began popping up across the city, sourcing beans directly from farmers, obsessing over roasting curves, and creating cafes that looked like they were designed by minimalist Pinterest boards with a side degree in environmental ethics. Fast forward to now, and coffee is a full-blown cultural event in Vancouver. People treat their baristas like microtherapists. Latte foam is judged like Olympic figure skating. Your favorite cafe probably has a pop-up art show, sells locally made tote bags, and uses biodegradable cups that biodegrade emotionally too. And let's not forget the influence of Gen Z and millennials who turned coffee run into a lifestyle. We want ethical beans, sustainable practices, oat-milk options, plural, and bonus points if there's a dog bowl on the patio, and free Wi-Fi that actually works. Coffee shops are no longer just cafes. They're co-working spaces, dating spots, therapy substitutes, and aesthetic backdrops for your I'm being productive TikToks. In short, Vancouver's coffee glow-up was inevitable. The city embraced the slow sip, the single origin roast, and the shared belief that good coffee is about more than caffeine. It's about connection, intention, and maybe showing off that you know what a Chemex is. Downtown Vancouver is where the buildings are tall, the rent is terrifying, and everyone walks like they're late for a meeting they're secretly trying to cancel. It's also home to some of the most legendary coffee spots in the city. Cafes where baristas wear beanies in July, and the espresso shots hit harder than your morning existential crisis. Right next door is Gastown, where cobblestone streets meet curated vintage shops, and the coffee scene goes full main character mode. Between heritage buildings and hip startups, this is where caffeine meets cool with a slightly haunted aesthetic. The steam clock knows what you did last summer. Let's start with Revolver, aka the supreme of coffee shops. It's the type of place where coffee isn't made. It's crafted, poured, prayed over, revered. With rotating single origin beans and brewing methods that sound like science projects, Revolver is where you go when you're not just ordering a coffee, you're making a statement. The vibe? Clean, focused, and full of people who look like they read poetry unironically. Just around the corner is Nemesis Coffee, the spot that took I Want My Cappuccino and also a full pastry experience and made it into an art form. With sleek design, inventive drinks, hello pistachio milk, and a pastry menu curated like a fashion show, Nemesis is where tech bros, art students, and random tourists all silently agree. This is aesthetic central. The music's vibey, the chairs are probably ergonomic, and your coffee will taste like a tiny edible life upgrade. Then there's Timber Train, the hidden gem with a theme. Yes, a train theme. You read that right. It somehow makes railcar energy feel cozy and boutique, the perfect setting for sipping an Americano while pretending you're the mysterious stranger in a Wes Anderson film. Bonus points. They roast their own beans, and the espresso is consistently iconic. If you're looking for a spot to romanticize your hustle, answer emails you've been ignoring, or stare dramatically out the window during light rain. So, most days, Downtown and Gastown deliver. The cafes here are more than just places to grab a drink. They're a lifestyle moment, a LinkedIn endorsement, and maybe even a second home if you play your loyalty card right. These aren't coffee chains. They're caffeine sanctuaries where the beans are blessed, the lighting is flattering, and the Wi-Fi knows no mercy. Welcome to Mount Pleasant and Main Street, where every street corner has a tattooed barista, someone selling handmade ceramics, and a dog wearing a bandana that costs more than your monthly Spotify subscription. If Gastown is moody and architectural, Main Street is that effortlessly cool friend who thrifted their entire outfit and somehow pulls off socks with sandals. This is Vancouver's unofficial capital of indie cafes, oat-milks, and existential latte conversations. The coffee here isn't just good, it's curated. The baristas are friendly in a don't rush me, I'm pouring with intention kind of way, and the Wi-Fi passwords are always just obscure enough to keep the vibe exclusive. Let's start with 49th Parallel Cafe, the Beyoncé of this scene. With its sky blue branding, iconic tiled floors, and a pastry collab with Lucky's Donuts that's basically dessert diplomacy, 49th is the OG third wave cafe that taught Vancouver how to take its caffeine seriously and its vibe personally. It's busy, beautiful, and filled with people who say things like, I'm editing a short film, or I'm just journaling through a transition period. And yes, the coffee is spectacular. Not far off, we've got Kafka's Coffee and Tea, which is basically coffee meets art school with a splash of urban philosopher. Their spaces double as micro galleries, their music is somehow always cooler than yours, and their baristas will casually drop terms like citric brightness without flinching. Kafka's is where you go to have a quiet breakdown over a cortado and come out a better person. And then there's Jean Coffee Bar, a cafe so confident it exists in a triangular-shaped building and still pulls a crowd. Jean is minimalist, industrial, and deeply aesthetic, the kind of place that gives I'm working on my screenplay energy without actually being pretentious. They've nailed the perfect middle ground between sit and work for hours and accidentally people watch until your Americano goes cold. What ties all these places together is an unwavering commitment to vibe. Whether it's the playlists, the plants, the ethically sourced beans, or the fact that someone's having a tarot reading in the corner while sipping a lavender latte, Main Street cafes go hard for the details. This neighborhood isn't just about drinking coffee, it's about being coffee culture. Every sip feels intentional, every interior feels curated, and every regular looks like they've been coming there since before oat-milk was cool. Spoiler, they have. So, if you're looking to do some laptop time, host a pretend book club, or just sit with your feelings and a cup of something roasted within 10 kilometers. Mount Pleasant is calling. Just don't forget your tote bag. If downtown is your business, casual alter ego, and Main Street is your curated hipster aesthetic, then Commercial Drive is your unapologetically real, artsy, community-minded core. This is the neighborhood that says we were doing slow drip before it was cool. And they mean it. East Van cafes aren't just places to caffeinate. They're local landmarks, cultural hubs, and unofficial therapy offices with latte art. Let's kick things off with Prado Cafe, a local staple that's got more neighborhood charm than a front yard book exchange box. With its bright interiors, killer espresso, and friendly but not fake staff, Prado is where freelancers, students, toddlers with cool parents, and local activists all collide over a solid cup of coffee. It's clean, classic, and totally unfazed by trends because it doesn't have to be. It is the trend. Then there's Moja Coffee, which is like the strong, silent type of the cafe scene. You might not see them shouting all over social media, but their roast game speaks for itself. Founded by people who genuinely care about the bean, and it shows, Moja is all about quality, community, and that bold cup of coffee that wakes you up and your ancestors. It's the kind of spot where the regulars actually know each other. And yes, someone will ask how your week is going and actually listen. And if you want something a little more whimsical, slide into Bump and Grind, a cafe with the heart of an artist and the energy of a cozy living room filled with caffeine-fueled dreams. The name alone sets the tone. Playful, funky, and just the right amount of weird in the best way. They serve great coffee, amazing baked goods, and a vibe that says, we do things differently here, and you're welcome to stay a while. What makes Commercial Drive and East Van coffee culture so iconic is its authenticity. This isn't about sleek minimalism or curated lighting. This is about storytelling, community, and the loud, beautiful collision of cultures and ideas. The walls often double as art galleries. The events board is stacked with open mics and neighborhood fundraisers, and someone is always discussing urban gardening while sipping a hemp milk cappuccino. And let's be real, the drive has personality. It's where your barista might also be in a band, your coffee might be named after a local legend, and your pastry might come with a side of unsolicited but wholesome life advice. So if you want your caffeine with a side of culture, character, and community spirit, Commercial Drive and East Van are where it's at. Because here, coffee isn't just part of your morning, it's part of the neighborhood's DNA. If Commercial Drive is the city's soulful heart, then Kitsilano and the West Side are its clean-eating, ocean-loving, perfectly airbrushed glow-up. This is where yoga mats outnumber backpacks, and every third person is either on their way to a wellness retreat or coming back from one with crystals in their tote bag. But make no mistake, the coffee scene here isn't just vibing on aesthetics. It's legit, delicious, and suspiciously good-looking. Every cafe feels like it was designed for a Sunday morning Instagram carousel and a TED Talk on intuitive living. It's a vibe, it's a lifestyle, and it might have its own curated Spotify playlist. Let's start with Be Fresh Cafe, which is equal parts market, juice bar, community hub, and chill hangout for people who say things like, I just got my CSA box, and honestly, I'm thriving. You can sip on a flat white while buying locally sourced veggies, or order a matcha latte and suddenly feel like your digestive health just leveled up. It's farm to table, but with a foam heart on top. Then there's Olive Plus Ruby, a leafy, sun-drenched dream cafe that feels like walking into your Pinterest vision board. This is the kind of place where every corner has a plant baby. Every barista has skin so clear it's suspicious, and the smoothie bowls come with edible flowers and affirmations. But don't be fooled by the chill energy. The coffee's fantastic. The vibes are immaculate. And if you're not careful, you'll stay for 3 hours and accidentally rethink your entire life path. Of course, you can't mention Westside Caffeine royalty without shouting out There There, the cafe retail hybrid that's somehow both high design and incredibly welcoming. Known for their designer merch, yes, their tote bags are that cute, and seriously tasty donuts, this spot proves that you can have cool branding and really good coffee. Whether you're in it for the food, the fashion, or the just grabbing a drip but make it streetwear moment, There There never disappoints. What ties the Westside cafes together is a dedication to intentional living with excellent caffeine. These are places that blend health-conscious menus with jaw-dropping interiors and espresso that still slaps. Whether you're post-spin class, pre-beach walk, or just manifesting your best life, this neighborhood delivers big latte energy with a side of zen. So if you're craving wellness, waves, and a coffee that could double as a vision board, Kits and the West Side are your caffeine sanctuaries. Just don't forget your reusable straw. If your ideal coffee run includes a bridge, a bear sighting, and the sudden urge to climb a mountain, then congratulations. You've reached the North Shore, Vancouver's ruggedly charming caffeine frontier. This is where you start your morning with an Americano and end it on a summit with 3 blisters and a new appreciation for weatherproof socks. The cafes out here aren't about hype, they're about heart, hydration, and high-quality beans strong enough to revive you after a 14K incline. They're not trying to be cool, they just are. Like that one friend who composts, owns a kayak, and has perfect skin because they drink glacier water and mind their business. First stop, Delaney's Coffee House in Edgemont Village. This place is basically the North Shore's living room. Warm, cozy, and completely free of pretension, Delaney's has been caffeinating locals since before oat-milk had a PR team. It's family-run, community-driven, and the kind of spot where people actually talk to each other. Yes, in real life. Their drinks are consistently solid, the vibes are golden retriever level friendly, and you will absolutely overhear someone planning their next ski trip while sipping a maple latte. Then there's JJ Bean in Deep Cove, the last stop for caffeine before you ascend a mountain or descend into existential reflection on the Quarry Rock Trail. JJ Bean has multiple locations across the city, but the Deep Cove outpost hits differently. Maybe it's the ocean air, maybe it's the dog-friendly patio, or maybe it's because the coffee tastes better when your calves are sore and your flannel is slightly damp from sea spray. Either way, this is a certified North Shore power-up station. These cafes cater to a clientele that balances trail running energy with cozy core comfort. You'll find yoga mats in corners, hiking boots at the door, and more Patagonia gear than a sponsored ad feed. But despite the casual vibe, the coffee is no joke. Expertly roasted, locally sourced, and served with that North Shore warmth that says, yes, we recycle, yes, we climb things, and yes, we remember your order. What sets the North Shore scene apart is that it blends wilderness and espresso with shocking grace. You'll sip a flat white while looking at snow-capped peaks, or crush a cold brew on a bench with more trees than people around you. It's peaceful, it's powerful, and it smells faintly of cedar and determination. So if you want your latte with a side of serenity, take a sea bus, catch a view, and head into the part of Vancouver where every coffee feels like it was brewed at 3,000 feet. Let's be honest, in a city where you can't throw a rock without hitting an espresso machine, not all coffee shops are created equal. Some spots serve actual liquid joy in a cup, others more like, here's your $7 disappointment, now please leave. So what's the secret formula behind the cafes that stand out in Vancouver's deeply overachieving coffee scene? Spoiler, it's more than just having oat milk and a neon sign that says, but first, coffee. First things first, quality beans. If the coffee doesn't slap, the vibes can only carry you so far. A great cafe starts with a solid roast, ethically sourced, thoughtfully prepared, and roasted with enough intention to make you feel like someone cared deeply about your morning. Whether it's fruity chocolatey or aggressively caffeinated, you should taste the difference. If you can't, that's not a vibe, that's a red flag. Next up, a strong sense of identity. Vancouver's best cafes know who they are. Whether they're industrial and artsy, beachy and bright, or full cozy cabin mode, they lean in. They're not trying to be everything for everyone. They're just really good at being themselves. Kind of like your favorite friend who can't make plans before 11 a.m., but always brings great energy. And then we've got community. The best cafes don't just serve drinks, they serve connection. They host open mics, support local artists, remember your name and your complicated drink order, and actually make eye contact without fear. These cafes double as safe spaces, idea incubators, and mini therapy booths where you can sip your feelings. If there's a bulletin board full of zines, yoga classes, and lost cats, congrats. You found the heart of the neighborhood. Of course, design matters too. Let's not pretend we don't care. Great lighting, essential. Comfortable seating, a must. Bonus points if the cafe has plants, art, and enough outlets to keep your laptop and your will to live charged. Also, let's not overlook the music. If it's a mix of lo-fi beats, soft indie, and the occasional surprise 2010s banger, perfection. If it's just silence and the sound of someone aggressively frothing milk, you deserve better. And lastly, sustainability is the unsung hero. Vancouver cafes go hard for the planet, compostable cups, zero-waste pastry programs, reusable mug discounts, and menus that prioritize local sourcing. Great coffee shops in this city aren't just good to you, they're good to the earth. It's giving environmental ally with an espresso tamper. So, what makes a Vancouver cafe truly great? It's a little bit of quality, a lot of heart, and a whole vibe. It's where coffee meets culture, where connection matters more than clout, and where every cup is brewed with just enough care to turn your day around. So, there you have it, Vancouver's coffee culture, roasted to perfection and served with a side of vibes. From moody Gastown espresso bars to Kitsilano's matcha-toned wellness cafes, we've caffeinated our way through the city one neighborhood at a time. And if you made it this far without ordering a coffee mid-read, you're either built different or your bloodstream is already 60% cold brew. But let's be real, in Vancouver, coffee isn't just part of the daily routine, it is the routine. It's how we wake up, link up, catch up, and glow up. It's the friend we can count on during rainy mornings, awkward first dates, and existential Sunday afternoons. In a city where it rains 9 months of the year and parking is a contact sport, coffee is our coping mechanism and our comfort blanket, in a compostable cup, of course. And sure, the beans matter. The foam art is cute. But what really makes Vancouver's coffee scene elite is the way it brings people together. Creatives, commuters, students, side hustlers, and someone's adorable French bulldog in a sweater. Every cafe tells a different story, but they're all connected by the same things: quality, community, and the mutual understanding that coffee is a personality trait, and we're all leaning into it. So wherever you find yourself, lost in a sea of laptops on Main Street, sipping something wild like a turmeric cardamom latte in East Van, or watching the ocean with a cappuccino that costs more than your lunch, just remember, you're doing it right. You're living the Vancouver dream. Now go forth, support your local cafe, tip your barista, and don't forget to bring your reusable cup, because in this city, you're only one latte away from enlightenment. And just like that, the city's pulse slows. But the story doesn't stop. You've been watching ISVi IMRAN STAR video, where voices come together and the city speaks back. We're a crew, not a single face. A movement, not a moment. And every episode that's built with you, for you, by all of us. From the seawall to the skyline. From underground voices to rooftop vibes. We're telling the stories that don't make the news, but make the neighborhood. If this episode hit, pass it on, subscribe on YouTube, follow us on TikTok and Instagram. Drop a comment and tell us what your Vancouver sounds like. We're building this together, clip by clip, story by story, from 100 to 10K to wherever this takes us. When we get there, we all show up. So until the next drop, stay loud, stay collective, and stay in it. This is ISVi, signing off.